21 amazing little-known facts about the Secret Service. The work of the Men in Black, also known as the United States Secret Service, is shrouded in mysteries and myths. We're about to lift that veil of secrecy and discover some facts about these special agents. Their secret headquarters, code names they gave presidents, their distinct hand position. There's a lot to find out. 21. There are more of them than we think. When we think of the Secret Service, we often imagine about 100 or so elite soldiers. But in fact, there are around 6,500 of them. Plus, there are the ones that work for the Personal Protection Unit. 20. They don't just guard presidents. Protecting the Commander-in-Chief is the Secret Service's main function, but it's not the only one. The Vice President, the First Family, former presidents and their families, the visiting heads of foreign states are also under the protection of the service. Presidential candidates are also taken care of for 120 days before an election. Technically, the Secret Service has to protect anyone the president orders them to guard. 19. There are 3 service phases. Agents aren't immediately put out in the field. They first have to work in the office for 3 years. And if they want to face some challenging tasks, they do that for 4 to 7 years. In the final phase, an agent is promoted to a higher position or returns to office work. 18. They're trained to throw themselves in front of bullets. Before any presidential event, the Secret Service rehearses all possible scenarios of a murder attempt or shootout. They use bullets specifically made for these training sessions that sting when they hit you and leave a colored mark but don't actually hurt the agents. All agents also undergo a skills development course every 8 weeks to keep them on top of their game. 17. They're ready to provide first aid. Every agent has basic medical skills and is ready to keep calm in a critical situation. This is so they can save someone's life before an ambulance arrives or before they get to the hospital. In fact, each president's route is thoroughly researched so that a hospital is always 10 minutes away. The agents have this time to take emergency measures. 16. They keep a bag of the president's blood on them. Top agents are trained to be able to literally save the president's life if he's lost too much blood after an accident or assassination attempt. They always carry bags of the president's blood so that there's no risk with donors. Once they get the president to a nearby hospital, they hand over the blood for a transfusion. There will, of course, be an agent who's familiar with the emergency room staff. 15. Mount weather isn't a myth. Every year, the president addresses Congress, the Supreme Court, and the Cabinet with his State of the Union address. What you might not have considered is that his speech is a huge potential threat. It would take one attack to put down the entire U.S. government assembled in one room. In addition to all the super beefed up security for the event, there is an extra worst-case precaution taken. One member of the cabinet doesn't attend the meeting because he's hidden in an underground bunker in Mount Weather, Virginia, under protection of the Secret Service. 14. Presidents have code names. It's not just a Hollywood creation. The Secret Service really does use code names for presidents. They often use names starting with the same letter for the entire First Family. For example, Barack Obama was Renegade, his wife was Renaissance, and their daughters were Radiance and Rosebud. Jimmy Carter's code name was Deacon, Bill Clinton was called Eagle, and Donald Trump's code name is Mogul. 13. There are motion sensors in the floor of the Oval Office. One of the Secret Service's rules is that the president should never be left alone. But if the president just wants to chill by himself in the Oval Office, agents can easily trace any movement and any potential threat with the help of sensors on the floor. 12. They participate in the president's hobbies. Since the president can't be alone, agents have to participate in everything in his life. Mr. President, you want to go for a morning run? No problem, come with me. Feel like taking up hiking? We're in. You want to try skateboarding, you say? Well, This way, Secret Service agents pick up different hobbies and develop new skills along with the Commander-in-Chief. 11. They go to the doctor with the President. Secret Service agents are always there for the President, and always really does mean always. While it's obvious that agents should surround the President at public gatherings or while he's traveling, you might be surprised to know they accompany him inside the White House, when he gets together with his friends, and even when he goes to the doctor. The President can't be alone with a doctor without an agent as an escort, no matter what the President's problem is. 10. They track all threatening letters. It's not a myth or a conspiracy theory. The Secret Service checks all electronic and paper letters that contain any threats, even if they're just a joke. This organization has a database with thousands of types of ink to make the investigation process easier. There are different ways to punish those who threaten the President in any way. It can be a warning, forced psychiatric evaluation, or charging someone with a Class E felony. It's the Secret Service's task to define how real the threat is. They'll even go as far as interviewing a potential assassin's family, neighbors, and coworkers to understand if the person is mentally unstable, overly emotional, or a real threat. 9. They monitor and record everything. Agents always use as many cameras and video surveillance as they can. It helps a lot when it comes to resolving an incident and finding a perpetrator. After Kennedy's assassination, they decided to have a car responsible for video recording a presidential cortege. Some time ago, for example, someone decided to throw something at Donald Trump, and that person was easily located since he was caught on camera. 8. They don't take an oath to die for their president. What we all imagine as a Secret Service initiation ritual only exists in movies. In reality, there is no romantic swearing to take a bullet for the president. Now that doesn't mean that Secret Service agents wouldn't do it, of course. 7. There's only been one agent killed in the line of duty. If an agent sacrifices their life for the president, they do it voluntarily. But there's only been one case in history when a Secret Service agent did just this. Officer Leslie Coffelt was killed on November 1, 1950, while protecting President Harry Truman. 6. They keep their headquarters a secret. The Secret Service headquarters is located in D.C., in a gray 9-story building without any identifying signs. It hosts armories, an operations center, and, of course, thousands of agents. Plus, they have a secret cafeteria. There aren't any trash cans on the premises, so there's no place to hide a bomb. Even the street the building is located on is sort of cryptic sounding, H Street. 5. The Secret Service was established the day Lincoln was shot. It was Hugh McCulloch, the Secretary of the Treasury, who suggested establishing the Secret Service. He presented his idea to Abraham Lincoln on April 14, 1865. Later that same night, the president went to a theater where he was shot in the head. Now that's really eerie. 4. The Secret Service wasn't created to protect the president. Even if the Secret Service had been created that morning, it wouldn't have saved Lincoln's life because its main purpose was to deal with counterfeiters and financial fraud. The organization does still carry out financial investigations, but only after a few more presidents were assassinated did Congress decide to add protection of the president to their mission. 3. They don't always wear sunglasses. We always imagine Secret Service agents in dark suits and sunglasses, but that's just what we've seen in the movies. While they might wear sunglasses on really sunny days just like the rest of us, most of the time they don't because the glare or lack of light could cause them to miss something important. 2. They make mistakes too. Nowadays, it's really hard to hide anything, and a Secret Service mistake is no exception. While Barack Obama was in an elevator with an armed officer, a man with a knife managed to trespass on the White House grounds by jumping over a fence. 1. Their hands are always ready. If you take a closer look at agents in photos, you'll notice that their hands are always at their waist. Their finger position may differ, but the meaning is always the same. the agents are ready to act quickly and draw their weapons. Which of these facts surprised you the most? Feel free to share with us in the comments below. Your friends would probably love to hear about all these secrets and codes, so share this video with them. And if you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up.